Hi, friends. Troy here from Disney Assembled. Welcome back to the channel. Our goal at Disney Assembled is to create joy and share our love for all things Disney. And sometimes that includes a trip to a Walt Disney theme park. Now, for some families, a trip to a theme park is confusing or stressful or filled with anxiety. And this is exactly why we made today's video. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would be so kind, we'd appreciate a subscription. Now, let's get into it. The top 10 terms to know when visiting a Disney theme park. Number 10. One term you may hear when planning your trip to a Disney theme park is the term on property. Now, on property just simply refers to the location of your hotel or your resort that you're going to be spending the night and staying in. On property means it's a resort hotel on the Disney theme park property. Now, there are many choices, and we can go through them in another video because you can spend a whole video talking on the different types of resorts available. But when you hear the word on property, it simply just means that the resort or the hotel that you have chosen to stay in for your trip is on the Disney property itself, not off site somewhere else where you'd have to drive in. Now, there are a number of advantages to saying on property, including access to all the Disney transportation options to get you where you need to go. And of course, it keeps you in the Disney bubble, which I guess is another term we could have used in this video, but we didn't specifically call it out. The Disney bubble, which means you're there in the Disney property, insulated from all the other distractions of the world during your trip. And a lot of people like being in that Disney bubble. So, first term that you need to know when planning your trip, or at least one of the terms you need to know when planning your trip, is on property. Where will you stay? Is it going to be inside the Disney bubble or outside where you have to, get transportation to come to Disney property for each day of your trip? Number 9. The next two terms we've lumped together because you are often going to hear them in connection to each other. And these terms are Genie Plus and Lightning Lane. So let's take them one at a time, just sort of explain briefly what each of them means. Genie Plus is a paid service through your Disney app that allows you access to purchase Lightning Lane tickets or Lightning Lane passes, I should say, or book Lightning Lane passes. We'll talk about Lightning Lane in a second. But Genie Plus is a paid service per day, and the price for Genie Plus fluctuates based on the demand for Genie Plus on any particular day. Now, you can use a free, service through the Disney Experience app to help you plan your day, just called regular Genie. However, we kind of wouldn't advise using Genie. It helps a little bit, but it's not terribly helpful. But Genie Plus, if you want to get those Lightning Lane passes or to purchase individual Lightning Lane passes, then Genie Plus is the way to go for that. Now, Lightning Lane is the new version of what used to be known as a fast pass. In other words, to get on a ride attraction or get an attraction at a Disney park, you'd have to stand in a standby line or standby queue, or you have to use what's called the Lightning Lane line, which is simply a way to help bypass the crowd that is waiting in line. At least cuts down on the amount of time you have to wait to get through a line to do an attraction. Not every Lightning Lane is part of Genie Plus, though. There are some individually paid for Lightning Lane passes that you have to pay extra for, even if you've already paid for Genie Plus. But by and large, if you pay for Genie Plus, you can start booking Lightning Lane passes for attractions you want to use throughout the day. Again, we could do an entire, very long video on all the details surrounding Genie Plus and Lightning Lane. What I will tell you is, from our perspective, we do not use Genie Plus and Lightning Lane when we go to the parks. But if you're someone who's going for the first time, or maybe the only time you go, and there are certain attractions that you really, really want to do, then Genie Plus and Lightning Lane might be a really good option just to make sure you're able to, ride the attractions that you really want to ride. So that's what Genie Plus and Lightning Lane is. Lightning Lane is essentially the line that you can get in to get on an attraction that is quicker than the standby line. It helps you get near the front of the line quicker. And Genie Plus is a paid service to help you plan your visit and to book Lightning Lane passes. But with all these things, if you use an authorized Disney vacation planner for your trip, we would advise you to talk to your vacation planner about the details around using Genie Plus and Lightning Lane. Number 8. When you go to a Disney theme park, you are actually attending a show. The whole thing is a show. Disney puts it on with a show in mind. And so the employees of Disney are actually called cast members. They are participating in the show for you, the guest. So, cast member, which is our next term, just simply refers to what a Disney employee is. So, anyone who's working at a Disney theme park or in the Disney company, they're all referred to as cast members. Number 7. At some point during your Disney theme park trip, you're going to want to eat. And two of the many options, because there's you can walk up and do like a kiosk or a food cart area. But two of the very popular options for dining on a Disney theme park is a table service restaurant or a quick service restaurant. And so these terms are used frequently as you are looking at dining options. A table service restaurant is simply a restaurant where you're going to go in, sit at a table. A hostess will seat you. You'll have a server. You'll get a menu. Some of these table service restaurants are character meals where you get to meet some characters that walk around, some are not. Pretty much, if you want a table service restaurant experience, you should probably book reservations for those table service restaurants in advance. Again, if you're using an authorized Disney vacation planner, that person can help you tremendously with booking your reservations for any table service restaurant experiences that you want to have. But of course, if you're at the park and you don't have a reservation, you can walk up and ask if they have space. I would say there's a 50-50 chance that they can probably seat you anyway, but probably not at a character meal. But some table service restaurants, certainly you can, potentially get a walk up reservation or day of reservation. Quick service is a little different. It's a restaurant that you order from the menu, you walk up to a counter, you get your food, and then you can sit down, sort of a walk up counter service restaurant. We would advise, if you're using the app, the Disney Experience app, that you use mobile ordering for your quick service restaurant. So if you know where you're going to go, you can get into the app, you can mobile order ahead of time. It'll give you a notice when your food is ready. You get your food, you can sit down. We think mobile ordering is a great option for quick service. But yeah, if you're looking at dining options, these are the terms you're going to hear: table service, sit down with a menu. Quick service is walk up to the counter and get your food. But again, we would advise mobile ordering for quick service. But yeah, there you go: table service and quick service. Number 6. So the time has come. You are getting ready to go to your Disney theme park. It's your first day. And you're thinking, man, how can I get as many attractions done as early as possible before the crowds get really, really big and busy during the day, or maybe it gets really hot during the day and my children may need to take a break. One way for you to do that is to go to the park for rope drop. Rope drop is our next term. And it literally means getting to the park before it opens, getting in through security, and then they'll open the turnstiles before the official start of the day. And you get to walk through to the park. But at a certain point, depending on which park you're in, and certain lands that open early, there is a literal rope across the entrance of that area. Cast members are there standing by, and rope drop is literally the moment the rope drops to allow people actually into that part of the park to do the attractions that are there. So it is a very early start to your day. Again, you should check the Disney app and find out what time the park's open. If you're staying on property, you may qualify for early entry, which is a big help. But rope drop is literally being at the park, standing in the park when the rope actually drops, so you can quickly, or as quickly and safely as you can, get to the attraction that you want to ride. And yeah, knock out as many of those attractions as early in the day as you can. Yeah, but rope drop is exactly that. It's the start of the day where the cast members literally drop a rope and allow people into the park. Number 5. When you buy your tickets and make your reservations for which Disney theme park you're going to go to on any particular day, you always have the option of purchasing what's called a park hopper ticket. It is an additional fee, but it allows you to go from one park to another during the same day. Without a park hopper ticket, whatever park you have a reservation to go to that day, that is the park you can go to. You cannot go to any of the others. But if you purchase a park hopper ticket, again includes a slightly a larger fee, you have the ability to go from one park to another. You can go to all four parks. If you're at Walt Disney World, you can go to Disney's California Adventure in addition to Disneyland if you're in California. But it allows you to go from park to park, hop from park to park. Now, the time in which you're allowed to do so has changed. It's probably going to change throughout the life of this video's existence. So I'm hesitant to mention what time, but I would say just check with your Disney authorized vacation planner or just check the Disney app and it'll tell you what time park hopping is allowed at the theme park that you are attending. But yeah, park hopper simply means that buying a ticket that allows you to go to various or multiple Disney theme parks on any one day. Number 4. One item that's not a necessity to use on your trip, but we would advise people getting one is a Magic Band Plus. Now, Magic Band Plus is simply a new version of a Disney Magic Band. So you may be asking, what is a Magic Band? Magic Band is simply a device you wear on your wrist. It looks a lot like a fitness tracker or a smartwatch, and it basically stores the information that you need for your trip. So it can act as the key to access to your resort room. You can have a method of payment attached to it, so you can use it to pay for items in the park, whether it's food or whatever. It acts as your key to get into the park, sort of your entry. So you scan it, you hold your wrist up on a scanner, and you put your finger on a fingerprint reader and all that good stuff. So Magic Band allows you to get in the park, allows you to pay for items, allows you to open your room. But Magic Band Plus has some interactive features. So maybe during a nighttime show, as fireworks are going off or as the show is going on, your Magic Band may light up and have little haptic sensors, so it vibrates on your wrist. I know during the 50th anniversary celebration, there were gold 50th anniversary statues throughout all four theme parks in Walt Disney World, and you could use your Magic Band Plus to interact with those statues. It was really it was kind of fun. Actually, Mimi and I did that, and we really enjoyed it. The Magic Band Plus is simply the new generation of the Magic Band, and we used it last time we went to the parks, and we really enjoyed it. And we would advise people to get one. But again, if you want to know more about Magic Band Plus and how to sync it to your account, again, your authorized Disney vacation planner can help you with that. But yep, that's what Magic Band Plus is. Number 3, one piece of advice we give families to have a great vacation and create great memories on their trip to a Disney theme park is to take lots of pictures and to record their visit and look at those pictures from time to time, get that nostalgia. One way for you to do that is to use the Disney Photo Pass and Memory Maker system. Now, throughout Disney theme parks, there are photographers, Disney photographers, cast members that are Photo Pass photographers, and they are at various locations all over the place. And again, if you're using your Magic Band Plus, they can scan your Magic Band. They will pose you in front of whatever it is or wherever they're doing their picture. And they'll take a series of pictures for you and your family. They'll even use your own phone. If you want to bring your own phone, have them use your phone to take pictures, they'll do that as well. But the Photo Pass photographers, that's what PhotoPass is. They simply just take all your photos and it goes into your account. Now, you can purchase those photos individually, or if you purchase the Memory Maker option for your trip, all of those photos will be available as digital downloads automatically to you, and you can download them from your phone. And you have about 30 days or so after you get home from your trip to download as many of those pictures as you want if you log in online to your account. But PhotoPass is simply just the pictures that are taken around the park by the Disney photographers, those PhotoPass photographers. Again, it doesn't cost you anything, PhotoPass. It's free. but you have to purchase the pictures individually. But if you think you're going to purchase at least a few of those pictures, it might make sense to purchase the Memory Maker add on option, because with Memory Maker, you automatically have access to all the pictures that you take through PhotoPass during your trip. So, yeah, that's what PhotoPass and Memory Maker is. Number two, earlier in this video, we went over the term on property. And one of the amenities that you may get by staying on property at a Walt Disney World resort or a Disneyland resort is early entry or extended hours or extended magic hours. Sometimes the terms are interchangeable, but essentially getting in early and staying late. Now, it depends on the calendar day. You have to check to see which park is staying open later, but early entry typically means about 30 minutes before the park opens to the general public. And again, early entry is only available to guests that are staying on property. So no matter what resort you're in on property, you have access to early entry into the theme parks 30 minutes before the general public, again, if you stay on property. Extended evening hours applies to guests that stay at certain Walt Disney World resorts, right? If you're at Walt Disney World in Florida, not all of them. Again, you should check with your vacation planner to see which resorts qualify for extended hours. And again, extended hours may not be every park every night. As a matter of fact, it's not every park every night. It's only on certain evenings and at certain parks. So just check the calendar to find out which parks are doing extended hours on which day. And that might have a factor, that may factor in to which resort you stay in, because if extended hours are very important to you, then making sure you pick the right resort that qualifies for extended evening hours or extra magic hours may be an important decision that you have to make. So, again, check with your authorized Disney vacation planner. They can help you with that. But again, early entry, everyone who stays on property at a Disney resort can get into early entry about 30 minutes before the general public. And extended hours is for certain guests who stay on property, and it's to stay after the park sort of officially closes to the general public. And number one, the last term we're going to go over today is single rider. Now, single rider does not refer to whether or not you have a significant other or a partner or a spouse. It simply means there is a line for some attractions that individual riders can get in to possibly get on the ride quicker. Now, the way this works is pretty simple. You have a standby line, lots of people. You probably have a lightning lane line for people who've made reservations through lightning lane to get in. And then for some attractions, like we just said, there's a single rider line. Now, what happens is all the seats on an attraction need to be filled. Well, they want to fill all the seats before they send it out. That way they can be efficient and get as many people through the line as possible. Sometimes there is an odd number of people getting on a line. For example, Test Track in Epcot. Each car sits 6 people. But if there's a family of 4 and they're looking for a family of 2, they may be able to do that. But if there's a family of 5 and there's an empty seat, there's often not a single person in a standby or lightning lane line. They'll go to the single rider line. They'll say, okay, we need 1 person. If you're in single rider line, there is no guarantee that you will be on the ride with a family member or a friend. So if you get in a single rider line with a family member, you may be split up. It may be you on one ride, your family member on the next car or the next vehicle that comes through. But it is a great way to get near the front of a line quicker and to do more rides if you're willing to do single rider. So again, single rider line, it's not for every attraction, but for some attractions, especially ones that are potentially have odd numbers of people where they have to fill an extra seat, or high volume rides where there's lots of people waiting to do, single rider may be a good option for you if, again, you're not worried about being able to ride alone and without one of your family or friends. All right, we're going to give you some extra magic, just like the cast members may do. Magic moment from Disney Assembled. We have some bonus terms for you. Here they are. Okay, the first bonus term is going to be the TTC. Now, the TTC stands for the Ticket and Transportation Center. This is at Walt Disney World in Orlando. And this is the place where if you are driving to the Magic Kingdom theme park, you will park your car at the TTC. You cannot park at the Magic Kingdom. You park at the TTC and you can board a monorail to drop you off at the Magic Kingdom, or you could walk from the TTC to the Magic Kingdom. It's not a terribly far walk. It's also the only place where you can get on a monorail, and the monorail will take you to either Epcot or the Magic Kingdom. So if you are taking the monorail from the Magic Kingdom to Epcot or from Epcot to the Magic Kingdom, those monorails will stop at the TTC and you'll have to get off and get on a different monorail to take you to the park you're heading to. So the Ticket and Transportation Center, it's the parking location for the Magic Kingdom in Florida. It is the location where the monorails to the Magic Kingdom and Epcot are in the same place, location, if you're going to either of those. There's also buses there if you need to get on a bus, and other transportation options. There is no boat option from the TTC, but if you hear the term TTC, that is what that means. It's the Ticket and Transportation Center. Skyliner is a relatively new form of transportation at Walt Disney World in Florida, and it's a series of gondola type vehicles that take you up in the air, and it's a really pleasant ride. Um, yeah, I would say that it's a pleasant ride unless the wind is blowing really hard and you're not really a fan of heights. But again, the Skyliner takes you to various locations. It'll take you to Epcot. It can take you to Disney's Hollywood Studios. It goes to the Caribbean Beach Resorts and to, I think, Art of Animation. So the Skyliner is a great option for transportation. It's a relatively new option. Disney Symbol kind of hopes that the Skyliner lines get expanded to go to other locations, because again, it's a very scenic, pleasant ride above Disney property. And the final term of our bonus terms is backstage. Now, we mentioned earlier that the Disney employees are referred to as cast members, and you are a guest of the show that Disney is putting on for you. So, the locations that are off limits to guests that only the cast members are able to go to are referred to as backstage areas. So, again, in keeping with the theme of there being a show going on and that the employees are the cast members in a show, the areas that are for employees only, where guests are not allowed to go, are the back is referred to as the backstage area. Well, that about does it for this episode. We hope that these terms and information was useful to you, especially if you're a first-time visitor to a Disney theme park. And as always, we appreciate you watching. And if you haven't done so already, if you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching again, guys. And until next time, see you real soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please collect your belongings, watch your head and step, and take small children by the hand.